There is a kind of loneliness that doesn't come from being alone. It comes from being present, but unseen. From still waking up each morning, still making coffee, still noticing the weather, the light through the window, the quiet of the house, and realizing that the world no longer pauses when you enter a room. After 75, loneliness often changes its shape. It's not always about empty chairs or silent phones. It's about feeling transparent. People don't avoid you. They're polite. They're kind. They ask how you're doing. But they don't really wait for the answer. They talk around you, not to you. They decide things near you, not with you. And slowly, without anyone intending it, you become part of the background. This kind of loneliness doesn't shout. It whispers. It says, "You're still here, but less required." And that can be harder to carry than being completely alone. Many older Americans know this feeling deeply. They've lived full lives. They've worked. They've raised families. They've contributed in ways that can't be measured. And yet, now, they find themselves watching the world move forward, without checking if they're keeping up. It can feel confusing, because on the outside, nothing is wrong. You're not abandoned. You're not forgotten. But you are overlooked. And that touches something tender. There is a dignity in old age that often goes unspoken. A quiet strength built from endurance. From staying when leaving would have been easier. From forgiving when bitterness would have been justified. From adapting again and again, even when it hurt. That strength doesn't disappear at 75. But the world doesn't always know how to recognize it. Loneliness, at this stage of life, is rarely about lack of people. It's about lack of depth. Conversations become shorter. Stories are interrupted. Memories are politely smiled at, but not explored. You may notice people assume they already know what you're going to say. Or they finish your sentences. Not to help, but to move on. And you learn, quietly, to speak less. Not because you have nothing to say, but because saying it feels unnecessary. Still, inside, there is a rich inner life. Memories layered with meaning. Moments that shaped you. Lessons learned the hard way. And that inner world deserves respect. Even if no one else asks for it. One of the hardest parts of aging is learning to sit with yourself, without feeling erased. To remember that your worth was never dependent on how often you were needed. That dignity does not disappear just because your role has changed. There is quiet power in acceptance, not surrender. Acceptance is not giving up. It is choosing to stand firmly in who you are, even as the world looks elsewhere. Some days, loneliness arrives unexpectedly. In a grocery store aisle. In a waiting room. At a family gathering where everyone is busy. It shows up as a heaviness in the chest. Not pain. Just weight. And in those moments, it's easy to question your relevance. To wonder if the best parts of you are already behind you. But relevance is not the same as usefulness. And usefulness is not the same as value. Your presence carries meaning, even when it isn't requested. Your calm, your patience, your ability to sit quietly with discomfort. These are not small things. They are rare. Many people reach old age believing they must remain cheerful, grateful, agreeable. As if expressing loneliness is a failure. It isn't. Loneliness is not weakness. It is awareness. It is the recognition that connection matters, even when it is quiet. There is also a strength that comes from learning to be your own companion. Not in isolation, but in understanding. To sit with your thoughts without judgment. To honor your memories without being trapped by them. To find meaning in small rituals. Morning light. A familiar song. A walk taken slowly. These moments don't replace human connection. But they soften the absence. Acceptance does not mean pretending loneliness doesn't exist. It means not letting it define your worth. You are more than what the world currently sees. You are the accumulation of decades of living. And that doesn't disappear. Perhaps the quiet invitation of this stage of life is not to chase visibility, but to deepen presence. To be fully yourself, even if fewer people are watching. And maybe the most important companionship now is the one you build within. So here is a gentle question to sit with. Not to answer quickly. Not to solve. As the world grows quieter around you, how are you learning to be a companion to yourself?